Right guys, welcome, another preview show. I'm Foxy. So we're going to discuss Uruguay, Egypt. And what I'm going to do is, normally for me I would just crack on, and when we're talking about the Borough, it's dead easy. We all know how stuff with Borough. So normally I wouldn't put my notes down, but what I've got is I've written some stuff down today. So if I seem as if I'm not paying attention, just because I'm having a quick read of stuff, I want to try and give as much info as I can. I'm not too sure. Probably everybody isn't that familiar with all these teams, but everybody will know a couple of players and stuff. But I want to just kind of give us a few facts. So, what are we expecting from this game? Well, obviously Uruguay, let's start with them. Pretty familiar team to a lot of us. Suarez, we all know about Suarez. Top class player in any league, top class player in Europe. Is he going to turn it on in this World Cup? I'd like to think so. I want all the big players to turn up. Top goal scorer in Uruguayan team, I think he's got 51. Main man in that team, him and Cavani up front, although there's a very good chance that Stuani might play. As we've heard, Stuani's been called up. Borough fans especially, we all know about Stuani, top class player. Wish we'd never got rid of him, but I won't start talking about that. So Cavani, who smashed it to pieces in the South American qualifying, I think he's got 10, something like that. I might be wrong, but I'm sure he's got around about 10 goals. But he's been their top scorer in qualifying anyway. They've had a really good qualifying campaign, and as we know as England fans, Uruguay are one of those teams. When they put us out the World Cup, Suarez header and a disputed Suarez goal where he skinned, I think it was Jagielka or Cahill. Long ball over the top, but it was another one of them poor performances from England. And it was against somebody that we expected that would do the business against us, and he did. So, Suarez, as I say, Cavani, Bentancur as well, who's a player plays for Juventus, 20-year-old Italian midfielder, really promising up and coming young player, attacking midfielder. He may start, I'm not too sure, but when I'm looking at the team sheet, the possible team sheet for this, you know, there's a few players on there that, again, what they seem to have to me when I look at this is quite a solid middle. Jimenez and Godin, who are both Atletico Madrid centre-backs, solid players. Godin's captain for Uruguay. I mean, you know, they've got a solid base there, so there's going to be art to break down. Caceres as well, who's another good top quality player, very sort of strong, robust. What they are for me, Uruguay, is they seem like they're quite a strong team, quite a physical team, but they can mix it up, they can play some really good football, as they have done in the South American qualifying. But really, apart from that, there's no one really to talk about around that team. Not that I can see anyway, not that we know about. Egypt, we all know the main man at Egypt, Salah, who's had an outstanding season for Liverpool. He's also had an outstanding season in the Egypt qualifying, in their qualifying. I think he's got 5 and 6, and I think this is their first qualifying, their first tournament, World Cup tournament in 30 years. I actually think I remember it. It's around about 1990 when their last tournament was. Got some other good players in there. I mean, I'll be honest, El Neni, decent player for Arsenal this season. He's kind of come into his own a little bit. I didn't rate him at first, but he's started to look quite good, really. And Hassan as well is another player that I rate, attack-minded. But it's all about Salah, this team, and we don't know whether he's going to start. Obviously, he's had his shoulder injury that we all saw in the Champions League final. Still a bit of controversy with that with Ramos. Still kind of disputing whether that was necessary or not, and whether Ramos kind of had a game plan before. I think all football fans looking at that know that Ramos's job was to take Salah out that game. So will he start? I don't know. I'd like to see him start, because what I want to see in this tournament, as you all do, is the best players play. We want to see Neymar play, although he's been injured too. I know he's been playing for Brazil, and I know that's not my review, but we want to see the Messis, the Neymars, the Salahs, you know, the Suarez's. We want these players. It's exciting then. But a couple of sort of stats around this. Uruguay have only played one friendly, and I think it was Uzbekistan. I think they were in the China Cup earlier on in the year, around about March time, and they haven't really played anything since then, but I think they beat China 3-1. Sorry, Uzbekistan 3-1. In the China Cup, I think they won the China Cup. I'm not too sure, sports fans, you can have a look at that yourself. I think they won 3 and drew 1. So, I don't know who's in that, but, you know, again, they're happy with one friendly going into a tournament. So, you know, I'm up and down with how many friendlies you play before a World Cup tournament, because obviously you've got the potential of injuries and things like that. So, you know, that might be a shrewd move from them. Obviously the players are fit. But just looking through some of the notes I've made, like I say, neither of these two, for me, will set this World Cup alight. I'll be very surprised. Like I say, Uruguay are an half-decent team. Egypt are really based around a couple of players. They remind me a little bit of like Wales in the European qualifiers, where it was about one star man, maybe two with Ramsey, and then everybody just sort of digs in and plays around them. They've got a really good team ethic. And also the head coach of Egypt, Hector Cooper, is a legend in his own right. And what they are, Egypt, really, is what we'll see is that they are quite a physical team too, but they're very well organised. He's a good tactician, Cooper. And so they will be organised, but again, I don't see them scoring many goals. But again, I don't see them doing much either. So they've never got out of the group stages in any World Cup they've been in, which tells you everything you need to know really about that. Let's have a little look at this. Their friendlies, last 4 friendlies. Well, Portugal, Greece, and Belgium lost 3, drew 2. Kuwait and Colombia, and they haven't won any. So last 6 friendlies really, so they haven't won any, so that's not really any form to going into. But like I say, against Uruguay, I've been in the China Cup and have played Uzbekistan. They haven't really had any formidable opponents themselves. So really, I mean, I don't really think there's anything else much to tell you, sports fans. I think this will be a decent game, to be honest. I'm predicting maybe a 2-2. I think they're both, like I say, even though they've got two really top class centre backs in Jimenez and Gordon, I think they're susceptible around on the wings, and I think that's the place maybe that Egypt could sort of maybe affect the game. I think that there will be goals. Like I say, I think it will be 2-2, but really, I don't really think there's anything else apart from that to let you in on. I mean, I'm going to be watching every World Cup game, so you know, you never know with World Cups what's going to happen. There could be a surprise here, there could be a surprise somewhere, but you know, let's hope it's not in the England camp though. But so I'm going to just read you out what I think the possible lineups will be. So bear with me, because I'm probably going to pronounce half these names wrong. So any Egypt fans tuning in, I do apologise up front. And if you'd like to send me in sort of a template or a voice recording of how I pronounce these names, because I'm going to have my Borough tinge on this, then please do. So Egypt predicted lineup's going to be, and these are all laughing at me here, so you know, bear with me. El Hadari, Fathi, or Fatih I think he's called, Gabar, Higazi, Abel Shafai, El Neni, who we know, easy that one, Hamed, Hassan, Beckett, Sobi and Musin. Musin's actually a decent player, I do know this guy, but again, this is he may start instead of Salah. Uruguay predicted lineups, but easy to sort of figure out this one. Musaleri, keeper, Pereira, Jimenez, Gordon, Caceres, Acosta, who we know about, Bentancur mentioned, Vecino, Arraseta, I think his name is, Arraseta. I will get better at these names, by the way. And what I'm hoping as well is if nobody does send me in any information how to pronounce these, I've watched the games and open, I'm just going to start learning what the commentators say. You can't get it wrong then. These guys are paid big bucks. I wish I was. Suarez and Cavani. But like I say, Stuani might play. And as a Borough fan, I'd like to see Stuani play because I think he's a hell of a player. Big loss for me. I'm quite happy to say one of the players in the last 10 years that I'm really gutted that we lost. Should have done a lot more to keep him. Probably have been in the Premiership with the likes of him still in our team. But anyway, we don't want to talk about Borough. So, like I say, I'm going 2-2. Rob, any predictions? It is tough because we don't know these teams inside out, but we will know them for you.
2-1.
Uruguay? Egypt?
Uruguay.
He's not sure. He's just pumping for a 2-1. So, listen, tune in again. We're going to have some more. We're going to have around about 80 reviews, I think it's going to be. We're going to review every single game, preview every single game. So keep tuning in, guys. Spread the word. If you want to, we're going to be doing a live broadcast as well for the game this afternoon, for most of the games. So you know, get involved, guys. You know the score by now. So listen, I've been Foxy. That's been Rob somewhere. Peace out, whoever you are, wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in, guys.